we do have a winner, and that is John Lundvik for Sweden with the song Too Late for Love, or Too Late, yeah. And it was a pretty clear result. Robert, what are your thoughts about the show?
Yes. Well, I thought Melody Festivalen once again delivered a brilliant show. One thing Sweden, I think, does an excellent job every single year, and Melody Festivalen 2019 was no exception. In fact, for me, the song quality of the final was exceptional this year. I thought they did a brilliant job. I'm really happy with pretty much all of the finalists. I mean, there's always some that I'm not going to like, but no, overall, great show. And as a huge Linda Woodruff stan, I was overjoyed to see her not just once, but twice during the final. So I loved it.
Yeah.
As to our winner, I mean, was this a shock? Not really. The odds have been predicting this for quite some time now. Arguably, the margin of victory is a slight surprise, but overall, I don't think anyone here tonight is going to be majorly surprised by the fact that it is John Lundvik who will be representing Sweden this year.
Yeah, he was the fan favorite, or like the betting odds favorite, I should say, because I don't know, because there are different polls and all of that stuff. But certainly the
Yeah.
betting odds favorite, the last time I checked, there was like a 52% chance for him to win or something like that. That is
Yeah.
pretty significant number, and it came true. But what the craziest part is actually about this, Robert, I mean, I have to go back God knows how long, but since I've been watching, I don't think there's ever been a time where every single juror gave the 12 points to the same song. That's crazy,
Yeah.
huh?
Ridiculous. I mean, I have to say, I am overjoyed that the televote also gave him a significant margin, because otherwise, I just imagine the situation where the juries all give him 12, and then he dropped down a little bit in the televote and was
Yeah.
like third or fourth. It would have looked really bad then. But I mean, in this case, hey, clearly everybody loved him. The Swedish public loved him. The international juries loved him. He is Sweden's entrant, and as much as I'm sure we've all got our own winners, probably not in agreement. There were 12 songs in the final, and only one is ever going to win.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, there is no doubt this is the valid winner. And sure, I mean, you can maybe go, why did all the juries give him 12? But at the end of the day, you'd have needed a lot of juries to have changed their mind to have had a different winner tonight.
Yes. So before we delve deeper into the whole John Lundvik saga, let's talk about some of the other entrances. Let's talk about first a few surprises here. The biggest surprise to me was actually Victoria. Victoria did,
Yes.
I don't know, it's flopping is the right word with the televoters, but she certainly underperformed considering that she was one of the favorites, right? I'm bringing it up right now. One,
Yeah.
two, three, four, five, six, seven, eighth place for Victoria in the televote.
Yeah.
What do you
And
think?
I think people were surprised and thinking that the juries were underrating her at the end of that, and it's Victoria flopping with the juries again. They just don't like her style of music. And then we see the televote, and it's actually like, okay, they're not actually that far off in terms of where they're placing her here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was surprised by that. Maybe the performance, they just didn't connect with it tonight on the night. I really don't know. That was one of my favorite songs of the night, and I thought she did a good job, but maybe it just wasn't quite right for the Swedes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, for me, certainly a surprise that she did as badly as she did. Yeah, I would call that a flop.
Yes, I guess so. So, and there were a bunch of other ballots that were kind of, because Lisa Ajax Torn basically received similar amount of points as Victoria did, and the only ballot that really stood well, there are two ballots that I think stole all the points, which were Bashara and Hannah Firm with Liamo. Hold You, those were the two that ended up on top. So maybe because of that, it definitely probably didn't help it either. But another surprise to me not that surprising, but do you think Jan Henrik Fjallgren deserved last place with the juries?
Oh no, that probably is the worst result in terms of the televote jury disparity, because I'm sorry, your juries are meant to be a flat-on, objective view of the song, and to be able to judge it on its merits and kind of put your own personal taste to one side. And I'm sorry, I challenge any one of those jury members to tell me what was wrong with that song that would make you say, no, this is worth so few points, and in many cases, nothing.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. I mean, I knew that he was going to move mountains with the juries. I figured he's probably going to end like fifth, sick, something like that, because I usually don't
Yeah.
appreciate that kind of music. But last place with 19 points, that was, to me, I was like, I don't know what was wrong with them. And on
No.
top of it, Anna Bergendahl barely beat him out by 1 point in 11th place with the juries.
Yeah.
Another surprise?
Yeah, well, less of a surprise in all honesty. Given that kind of music and the direction that the juries, I mean, especially if you look at Eurovision the last few years, the kind of song that the juries go for, that's not really it anymore. Not for the really high points. So, something at the end of the day, all these songs have won their place in the final one way or another. They have either come top two in their semi or come third and fourth and beat another song to get here.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose you are always going to end up with the lower place songs. You still think, well, they did quite well in the semi, but in this case, yeah. If I was going to pick a song that was going to come bottom three, say with the juries, I think I probably would have had that there.
Yeah.
In all honesty,
Interesting.
even though personally I quite like the song.
Yeah. I like the two better now. She finished 7th, by the way, with the televoters, in case people don't remember. Overall 10th place. So not necessarily like the best result, but certainly not the worst possible outcome either. And I fell in love with her tonight. You could see that she just really, really was into it. And at the very end, she got emotional, was just so happy and excited to get to do this and make it to the finals. And it's interesting to me, Robert, because as we all know, she was the representative of Sweden back in 2010. So far, the only time Sweden did not qualify, and that's of course not the kind of track record you want to have. And
No.
it almost destroyed her career, right? So it feels as her 10th place today is more of a career booster than her actual win. Does that make sense?
Yes, I think with the benefit of hindsight, I think that makes perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, obviously you'd say winning Melodifestivalen is surely a bigger career boost, but given what happened, and yeah, as you say, she's almost that the black sheep of Swedish entries in the last decade or so. So yeah, I'm really glad for her that she's not come last. She made the final, and I hope that she takes the positives out of that tonight.
So there's one song that the juries and the televoters completely disagreed on, and that was Nano Chasing Rivers. He finished in 2nd place with the juries, and then second to last with the televoters. WTF.
What?
Where will you stand?
Yeah. This was not one of my favorite songs of the night. I loved about half the songs tonight. I was like, "Yep, send this, Sweden. I'm perfectly comfortable with you sending this. It's great." John Lundvik, by the way, 7th, where it was the kind of you're probably going to send this, but I can live with that because it's actually a pretty good song.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nano not so high. It was like, it was okay, but I wasn't massively into it. But yeah, second with the juries. I'm sorry, were we listening to the same song here? Like, why? I genuinely would like to know why. Why was that song so deserving of so many points from the juries over the others? And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm with the televoters here. It was not particularly great, and I am genuinely a bit puzzled as to why it got pushed so highly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the kind of thing that the juries liked. I don't know. I'm struggling to say.
I'm struggling too, because I actually agree with the televoters as well. I didn't want to say it before. I'm saying it now. I put Nano probably also as my second to last. I put it in 11th place in my ranking, so I agree with the televoters. And it's not like it was a bad song. First of all, I thought it was a strong year overall anyway to me, this Melodifestivalen. So in last year, he probably would have been higher in my ranking. But it's, to me, his voice just sits in an uncomfortable spot that makes me kind of like, not comfortable what I said. So that kind of doesn't help matters. The song itself was okay to me. I didn't necessarily think it's not hateable, but it certainly feels a little just right there. And that why I'm surprised that it was so high with the televoters. And it's very interesting. The juries, not counting. Okay, we're not going to talk about John right now. We're going to go to him in just a second again. But I was not in line with the juries this year. Because Nana was not high up with me, and then Hannah Frem and Liamo Hold You, I didn't get it. I did not get it.
Sorry.
It finished third in the jury's, third with the televote. It was it's great. It was grating to me, the very shouty, loud, and the trash bags flying in the back, and it just was disjointed to me. And I know it was second in the betting odds, and I'm like, I am missing something here. It's not jiving. Not jiving. How about you?
No, I'm sorry. This was my favorite. trash bags in the background. I'm sorry, they were bed sheets, Matt. Bed sheets.
Okay, close.
Yeah, I don't know. This one hit a chord. Like, I say it was my favorite. I genuinely would be really hard put to decide between Liam and I'm getting my words mixed up. Sorry, between Hannah and Liam, Victoria and Lena were my top three, and honestly, it's like paper thin the gap between those three. I really got this song. I really enjoyed it. I think I have a soft spot for duets, in all honesty, because I seem to often quite like them. And this one just totally worked for me. I thought they worked really well together, and it was a great song. And I'm sad that they couldn't push it up a little bit more and give it a place over the baby of the final.
Yeah. It seems a little bit more of a polarizing entry as well, because I've seen a lot of people who really like it and people who really don't like it. Right? I happen to be one of the ones like I couldn't deal with it. But you're not catering to the haters. I'm not a hater, of course. I'm just it didn't appeal to me. You cater to the people who want to support you. So it's just very interesting how this one panned out to be. It finished, I think, third in the televote. And third in the jury vote, so guess what? Third overall, although they exactly tied in points with Bashara. They both got 107 points, and but then the televote takes precedence, so then therefore Bashara wins the tiebreaker between those two. Then let's move on to Bashara. On My Own seemed to be another fairly polarizing entry. A lot of people seem to really gravitate to it, and a lot of people were not in favor of it, basically. And here's the thing, to me, and I know a lot of people talked about it, and I can only echo what has been said. It is, I always point, I know it's not the same, but you remember Russia 2012, the Granny's Party for Everybody Dance, right? Everyone knows that song. Imagine this performed by a band of 20-year-old hot chicks. Do you think that would have worked? Like a Spice Girls kind of setup.
I'm sorry, I've suddenly got Poland 2014 costumes for the song. That's kind of now what I've got imagined. Yes.
Would have been no, because it doesn't really suit the singers, right?
No,
the song.
Of course.
And that's how I felt about this one, just the opposite. The song didn't suit the singer. He is a very talented 15, 16-year-old singer, right?
Yes.
His voice is so clean, and although it sounds like he still hasn't gone for puberty yet, he has still a high-pitched voice, but he sounded amazing. So I'm not bashing him, and he's so adorable. He is so happy to be there. He started crying, like, good for you, you'll be back. But to be honest, there was a mismatch with the singer and the song. And it's not about some 15, 16-year-old having a girlfriend or dating, but the song screamed a little bit more of a maturity and a little bit more, life experience. And this whole, like, I turn over to my left, you're not in my bed. It's like, oh my God, shouldn't you be doing homework? It's just really, and I'm really not, because I like the song. It wasn't that bad either. Like, I like that note, but the whole package together didn't work for me. But clearly it worked for the televoters, or at least a lot of them. Not sure if it was mostly younger folks who voted for him, or if it also worked with the more another generation, let's put it that way. Non-Gen Z, that generation. So it did fairly okay in the jury vote. Finished in 5th place, not quite as high. But yeah, so that was my issue with the song. But I want him to come back because he's very talented with a song that really suits him. So these are my thoughts about Bashara. What do you think, Robert?
Preach, Matt, preach. In all honesty, I have no other... I don't know if there's a lot I can add. You're spot on. He is a talent. Like, Sweden, keep an eye on him, because that voice, and you're saying he can go high, and he's maybe not gone through puberty yet. In all honesty, some of the low notes were making me think, okay, maybe he has.
Yes.
Maybe
he's just that talented.
Yeah, his range is incredible. I think he was a marvelous singer, but it's just that song is not the right song for someone who is 16 to be singing. And I'm sorry, I really don't think it suited him at all. And it's a shame, because it almost was a waste. He clearly has a lot of support among the Swedish public, decent level of support among the juries-ish. And yeah, it's almost a shame to see that go to waste on that song, because it was wrong. Sweden needs to send something a little bit different for him to sing in order to get the most out of that talent. And hopefully in the next few years we'll see something, because honestly, he's someone to watch. He really is.
Yes, he is. So, we have to wait and see if he's going to be back. I'm sure he'll be back. Who else are we missing out? Let's talk about the song that finished in 4th place with the juries and then dropped overall to 9th place, interestingly enough, which is Lisa Ajax's Torn, making her way through the second chance round, making, her 3rd participation in the finals, I believe. Your thoughts on this one, Robert?
Oh my god, I have never been a particularly big fan of Lisa Ajax, but this song, wow. I mean, it's like Victoria as well. Victoria, I have not been a particularly big fan of her songs previously in Melodifestivalen, but this year, wow. And Lisa is exactly the same. She is somebody who has just basically gone, you thought you knew me, guys? Ha, no. And this year she delivered in spades. I really love the song, and I'm almost sad that I ended up not having her in my top 3, simply because my top 3 was just so good. But yeah, this song, I am a little bit sad that the televoters really didn't see it. So yeah, a bit of a shame. Am I surprised that she didn't win? Well, when you're coming through second chance round, of course, you are already showing that you are not as popular as at least 2 songs in the final when it comes to the televote. And I think that alone means it is hard for the song to ever do well in the televote. I mean, why would you? I mean, if the televoters loved you, they'd have voted for you in the first round. They clearly didn't. So I think that was always going to be the issue. Yeah, second chance songs, you are always going to be struggling to get a big televote. That happened.
That is true. Oops. My cameras are flipping around right now. We were trying to bring in, by the way, the folks in Sweden right now. They're in Stockholm, Fernando and Chris. Guys, can you hear us?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
We can hear you just fine.
Yes.
I'm trying to set up the camera, so everyone in the chat, this may be flopping around a little bit. But I'm trying to get that fixed as we're trying to situate this. Who else we should talk about, Robert, while I'm doing this?
I think we maybe should move on to possibly the other teenager in the group, Milou, final place, which I'm totally not happy about her coming last.
Really? Why is that? Because I remember, weren't you here with you were not a fan of the song initially?
No, Matt, sorry, too little sarcasm there.
Oh!
I am overjoyed she came last.
Yeah, you did throw me there for a second. Because you were not a fan of this one, huh?
No, I really am not. I don't understand how this made it to the final, and I am so glad that it came last, because that's basically where it deserved to be.
Yeah, she didn't leave a major impact. I think she didn't finish last with either the televoters or the juries, I believe, but then combined, that then was basically the end of that. The song that finished in second last place, let's talk about that one for a second, is Lina Hedlund. And what are your thoughts on that one?
I love this one as well.
I did too.
And this one came terribly. I mean, oh god. Again, it was never really going to stand a great chance, but still, couldn't this one have done a bit better?
Yes. Yeah, I love that song. I knew it was going to move mountains either, but I was pleasantly surprised when it did okay in the jury vote. It was like somewhere in the center of the scoreboard, but then, the televote came in and she finished dead last. I'm like, I didn't want her to finish last, at least in the televote, but it happened anyway, and that's disappointing. But I'm glad that she qualified, because to me, it's just a Schlagerlicious song that made me just very, very,
go on the other side,
happy.
where there's
because this was actually the first time I'd heard the song, having missed that semi-final, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I hadn't got the chance to hear it before, and then suddenly here we go, and it's just a Schlagerfest. It's brilliant. Sure, it's about 20, 30 years out of date for Melodifestivalen, maybe, but I don't care. I'm sorry, I like that kind of music, and it was brilliant.
Yeah, I liked it too. We just need that more. It's a little less, I want to use the word sophisticated, because I'm sure there's sophistication there for sure. But I'm just saying that it's certainly less polished, I guess. It's a good old-fashioned pop with Schlager influenced Swedish music that is not necessarily the most
using something where that can.
But
report
It just
or
didn't
send out the signal.
move mountains.
Send it.
Okay.
So, yes, and I know we have the people in Stockholm trying to get them on camera, but we have a hard time getting them in. People in the chat, can you hear Fernando and Chris? Guys, can you say something?
Can you hear us?
Okay, we can hear you. I don't know if the people in the chat can hear you. We're having, it's difficult to turn on the camera right now, but I'll give it a shot anyway.
Yes.
Can you see us?
So,
Together we're victorious.
So, yeah, we have those. Let's talk through who else are we missing. Oh, that lovely band called Avignana. Avignana, I do. What do you think about that, Robert? You do or you don't?
Oh, I do. Yes, that is such a great song. Another one alongside, alongside Lena. It is just, oh my god, so good to see that in a Melodifestivalen final, because honestly, it's the kind of music we've been missing from Melodifestivalen for a few years, and it was just so much fun. Great group, and they just again, just the joy on their faces to be there. It was manifest throughout, and yeah, it's just so nice to see.
Yeah, and they did okay.
Yeah.
They finished in 8th place overall. Yeah. Again, I thought they were going to be dead last with the jury, because but that didn't happen. And did you pay attention, by the way? Besides the John Lundvik 12 points, the UK every year throws the curveball with those results. They gave 10 points to Lena, I think, and then 8 points to Avignana, I think.
No, 10 points to Avignana.
Oh, that's what it was. And then 8 points to Lena, I think. So something like that. That was like...
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm only disappointed because of the fact that we gave Victoria nothing. That was disappointing. But 10 points to that? I mean, you can tell why ABBA was so popular in this country for so many years. Well, still is so popular in this year.
Yes.
In this country for so many years. Like, I mean, that's the kind of stuff some of us love. And
exactly.
I was overjoyed.
So, Chris and Fernando, I can confirm that everyone can hear you. They cannot hear you. So you can take your wigs off and all of that stuff. But we would love to hear from you in just a second, because I got a super chat from God Uf Nixon. Thank you so much for the support, Matt. Just want to help out with the booking for a flight to the Netherlands. Joking. Well, I have the flight to the Netherlands. Now I'm getting the stuff ready for the UK. Thank you. But I think it can happen this year. After 44 years, the Netherlands may win again. And if not top 3, we're all here proud of Duncan. Okay, my response to is, I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get too excited about Amsterdam 20 or Rotterdam 2020, or I don't know any other cities. No, I just can't think of them right now, because we have to wait for the staging, right? And I'm always worried that there's some overhyped song. I don't believe this is overhyped because I think it's a great song. I'm just saying I don't wanna jump the gun. But thank you for your support, and if it's, how I feel about the song, if you watch my reaction video. Okay, Fernando and Chris, one question for you. You were in the arena during the whole thing. Tell us the vibe after John Lundvik got all these points and won. Was it like a warm response, or what was going on?
I've never experienced something like that. When he was singing for the whole 3 minutes, the arena went crazy.
Really?
Crazy. And if he didn't win, I'm sure there will be 60,000 people going on stage protesting last night if he didn't win.
It was his night. It was definitely his night. But I must say, what a great production. All the songs sounded so good in the arena.
I think this was the best.
The interval, everything, the jokes, the hosts, everything was just pitch perfect.
Yeah.
And actually, I would say, at least for me, I could send almost every song to Eurovision.
You can send them all.
I
all
mean,
of them.
The production was so good on this show.
Yes, I thought.
Was it a joy for you to watch?
Yes, to me it was. I mean, I've seen the semi-final performances, but I must say, and all the Swedes were getting mad at me last year because I felt the last few years Melodifestivalen was kind of like losing steam. I felt as there was like one song last year, my favorite song was Shuffla. And I think that's a very strong statement when this becomes your favorite song, right? And I was like, Melodifestivalen losing excitement for me. But this year, I thought it was one of the strongest shows in years musically.
Yes.
There were so many songs that should have done better in other years, or would have done better in other years, but they're like, darn it, I should have waited another year coming with this song. It was bad timing.
Yeah.
How about you,
It was
Robert?
amazing to be
Did you like
here.
the overall quality as well?
Oh yes, totally. I think it was a wonderful show, and congratulations to Sweden. And I'm really, really glad to hear that in the audience you clearly enjoyed it just as much as we did here at home. It's just, it's a great show. There's so much energy around it, and it just keeps going. It's fast paced. It was a 2-hour show. We had 12 songs and results and interval acts, and it's all bang, bang, bang. It just gets on with it. Yeah. And so many other countries could look at this show and see how to do a national selection final. Because Sweden, you're leading the way.
Yes. And guys, in Stockholm, besides John Lundvik, I know that the audience was going crazy and everyone was going crazy. Was there any other act that really got a warm response, more like than the average person? Who else was really well perceived?
We have a debate about this. You started.
I would say actually more or less every act had really a huge response. Liamo and Bashara.
You could know.
I would say
even John Henrik.
Yeah.
Even him? I love it. But nobody was standing out besides.
No. Definitely John Lundvik, 100%. He was standing out. He was the front runner from the beginning. He was the front runner.
But people also, I mean, their reaction to Arvingarna when they were on was amazing because the crowd went wild.
Yeah.
They really loved it.
Because it's a happy song.
It's a happy song. It had the whole, I would say all the songs were like in the palm of the hand of the viewers and the ones who were in the arena, because they were just so professional. And for more or less for each song, you would say, "Wow, this performance, they nailed it." And then it was building up and up and up. And actually, I felt sorry for Victoria because her performance right after John Lundvik just felt like.
And even Malou.
Yeah, it was like you can't do anything from this point.
The 9th and the 11th, they got lost because of number 10.
Yes, he kind of.
Malou. In fact, Malou was even slightly boring because of course everyone was waiting for John, and then Victoria ended up being the boring one because of the John.
But but the show, I would say you couldn't have done it better. You couldn't have sequenced it better, because I mean, starting with Jon Henrik and ending it with Arvingarna on a very high note.
Yes,
that was really.
It was well executed. That's for sure.
It was.
You guys just were in the arena and you looked at the screen. I'm not sure if you remember the entire results, right? Because you probably just don't recognize everything. But what are your thoughts about the televotes last places, or like overall last places, which was in the end Malou? She finished in last place.
Malou ended last.
Yes, overall.
Overall. Someone has to win. Someone has to.
Right?
Someone has to. I didn't see this Jon Henrik in the jury votes.
Jon Henrik was the last one, right, in the jury vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
He finished in 4th overall. Not overall. I'm sorry, with the televotes, and then, which was enough to put him in 4th place, I think. That's a pretty good comeback then, if that's correct. Am I looking at this right? Yeah.
I'm noticing there are many joint places this year, like 6. There are 3 of them. There is Arvingarna, Victoria, and was joint 6th, and Nano.
Yeah.
I think he's the biggest. Nano is the biggest winner this year.
Okay, so we're gonna take some questions from the chat now. I'm sorry I said a few minutes ago, but then Chris and Fernando had to interrupt. No, I'm kidding. Then they had to join us.
Okay.
So
thank you for having us.
Yeah. No, stay. Don't leave yet.
Because
we're just gonna, people in the chat, please ask questions at ESC United to any of us, and we'll see if we can answer them. I'm gonna ask everyone around here right now. John Lundvik. Oh, first of all, I didn't even share my thoughts about John Lundvik. Everyone else did. I love it. I'm so excited. It's been God knows how many years since I actually enjoyed the winning song from Melodifestivalen. And yes, people say another male singer, but he's not like the other male singers, right? He is a very different style, very different artist. And it is so energizing and so uplifting, the song. And people, you can see, reacted and responded to it. And I don't remember the last time I was this excited about a Melodifestivalen entry. And it's going to be high up in my ranking. And the question is to everyone. Fernando, I'm going to start with you. Where do you think he could end up at Eurovision?
In Eurovision? Top 5.
Top 5. What about you, Chris? What do you think?
To be fair, it's too early to predict, but I can see.
Of course, but just your first gut feeling. That just to give me like an exact
top
position.
5,
Top
definitely.
5. Chris?
I would say that just like Christer Björkman, he said at the pre-party, he said we have a song here that will be a clear winner, and I see the song as could be a winner of Eurovision too.
Yeah. Robert?
So
What do you think?
Left-hand side of the scoreboard in the final. I'm not quite sure if this has got winner material yet. I'll be interested to see how they actually perform it come Eurovision. Sweden don't make a lot of changes generally from Melodifestivalen. And as we've said, we do have to see the live performances and the staging for a number of songs, which are also in the running for a victory. So I'm going to hold fire on a win, but I would be surprised if this doesn't finish left-hand side final.
Yeah. I think it'll struggle to qualify, actually. I'm kidding. I heard some gay gasps out there. No, I was just kidding, of course. Of course it's going to qualify. I actually feel really good about this one. This just screams jury favorite. The worst case scenario for John Lundvik would be Benjamin Ingrosso repeat. I think that is the worst case scenario for him. But I think this will have a much bigger televote appeal. And it feels... Yes, of course it had staging with the big lights behind him and all of that stuff, but I feel as this is just genuinely a lot more catchy and approachable than Dance You Off was. And I think this one, top 10 to me, no doubt, and anything is possible. Anything is possible with Sweden. Okay, let's answer some questions here.
He's a lucky chap, huh?
Yeah, the first question is, by DYL8D, do you think Sweden can do better in the televote this year? So, then compared to last year, I guess everyone agrees yes?
Yes.
Yes.
yes, indeed.
Any no's? I mean, it can't get much worse than that, you know? It was like... The question is, I'm going to add to this question, do you think this is potentially going to be higher in the televote than the juries? Any thoughts?
Well, here you could see that the international jury all voted, it was straight 12s. And he won such a landslide televoting as well, and I think this could happen as well. It's such an approachable song, as you say. It's a
happy song.
It's a happy song. It's very universal, and I would see it as an anthem.
Anthem, yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a little bit of an anthem. Yes, I can totally see that. And let's see the next question here. Finish this sentence. This is the best Swedish entry since... Kale Project is asking that. So, Finn, this is the best Swedish entrance since blank.
Yes.
So, Robert, you go first.
Heroes,
so 2015. How about you, Chris?
Since Heroes, I would say, that was...
Heroes. Okay, Fernando?
I agree, since once, definitely.
Okay, well then I'm going to say, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to say since Undo, because I didn't care for Heroes. So I didn't care for any of the last 3 or 4 entries. So it was definitely Undo for me, at least. So yes, 5 years for me. Thank you for the question. That was a really good question. Let's see. What are your favorite Eurovision songs at the moment? Judith is asking. So everyone give me 1 or 2 that really stand out. Why don't you go ahead first, Robert?
Georgia.
Georgia.
San Marino. Yes. Don't hate me.
No, it's
Georgia.
just random. It's like it's unexpected.
It's not random. It's one of my favorites.
No, you're not wrong. You cannot be wrong based on your taste. It's just unexpected. That's all.
Fair enough. Georgia, San Marino, and Norway.
And Norway. That's an interesting combination there.
Thank you.
How about you, Chris?
I would say Greece.
Greece.
And Italy. And Sweden.
Greece, Italy, and Sweden. All right, Fernando.
I would say I would say the United Kingdom. It's my guilty pleasure.
Hang on. I think I misheard you there, Fernando. I think you just said you liked the UK.
Come on.
Go ahead.
You know, it's part of John Lundvik still. So.
John Lundvik, UK. Anyone else?
Then there is Italy, and of course Sweden.
Yeah, I must say right now, but it's also because I just...
Norway! There's Norway! I forgot Norway.
I haven't done really a ranking yet. I love the Netherlands. I love Sweden. I love Italy. there are others that I really, really like. See, I'm one of the few people, I guess, who loves Denmark. I like happy music. I like Iceland too. So I like the
I
hate
like happy music. I like Iceland.
too.
Sorry, hang on. Non sequitur.
Okay. I meant that I don't just like love songs. I also love hate songs, like Iceland. So I should have phrased it that way. So more questions. Da, da, da. Oh, Jelly Skip. I have a very uncomfortable question for you. Who will win Eurovision 2019? It's early. We don't even know all of the songs yet, and we don't even know the staging, right? So this is really just us blurring it out. This could change. Who has giving you a winner vibe as of right now, Fernando?
This week I had a dream.
I had a dream. Okay.
Yes, and it was Armenia winning Eurovision.
Armenia? We don't even know the song yet. Okay.
I know, but that's the dream I had. So I'm going to go with my gut feeling and say Armenia at the moment.
Mr. Chris, what did your dream tell you?
I think actually the Netherlands, if they can come up with a staging, with a good staging and not ruin it, it could be a winning performance. But it could, I mean, it's really, it could go two ways. But yeah, in the early days, still.
Yeah. Robert?
I really don't know. I'm really rubbish at predicting things because the fact that the Netherlands are currently leading in some of the odds is beyond mind-boggling for me. Because I don't understand how that's so popular. I really don't know. I think that it's probably. I just heard this random voice in my ears. Then I don't know. I think if I had to put my money somewhere, I would probably say Russia right now, but I'm probably going more for the name than anything else, to be dead honest.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Don't be. That is fair. As far as it's very hard for me again to. I feel as Italy is the only one where I get winner vibes from right now. Potentially Sweden. Those are the two I get winner vibes from. As of right now, that could change with the staging. Like we often see Melodifestivalen staging that works in Melodifestivalen, and then on the Eurovision stage it kind of gets lost. But with Tel Aviv having a smaller arena, maybe that'll work in their favor. Who knows? So we have to wait and see. But this is what we. All right. So ESC Fan Forever is asking the question: which country that has yet to release their song are you most excited for? Now there are only like 4 left, I think, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Malta because I'm rooting for them because I want to go to flippin' Malta. So that is my thought. Robert?
Yeah, I actually have to agree with you there. I think Malta has been kind of completely off the radar so far this year, and I'm kind of excited to hear what they've got for us. So yeah, let's go Malta.
Well, Fernando, I know your answer since you're from Malta, but I guess I'm going to skip you, right?
Well, I'm going to say that I'm excited for Armenia because of the dream I had this week.
Oh, back to your dream again. Okay.
You know, I'm coming from the island who had "This is my dream," you know?
Yes. Chris, who are you looking forward to?
I would say Azerbaijan.
It's released.
You haven't listened to it yet, I guess. It's already out.
Oh, I have.
That is so yesterday.
Azerbaijan, sorry.
We had it yesterday.
Oh, God.
Okay,
Oh,
we
God.
pretend that didn't happen. I'm going to cut that out.
I've got the flu.
That's his excuse.
Onyx Topaz is asking dark horses of the year. And we're not talking about necessarily, a winner, but a song that could really surprise that is under people's radar. Robert, I'll let you go first.
Oh, well, obviously San Marino. I mean, people were writing this off before Serhat released the song, and now obviously all of Europe is loving it. Well, okay, maybe not. But
Not everyone.
Is this San Marino's year to get actual qualification again? Maybe? Would that count as much of a dark horse? Quite possibly, I think, given their record. So, I don't know. In terms of that, yeah, I could possibly see Sweden sneaking up there. As to another dark horse, don't rule out North Macedonia.
North Macedonia?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think they could do quite well.
All right. How about you, Chris? Who's the dark horse?
Oh God, it's so hard to say. I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate for this, but I actually think Germany. I think Germany could surprise.
No, I actually don't disagree with you on that one. I don't necessarily think it's going to do as well with the televoters, but I think this could do really well with the juries. Very well
Yeah,
with the juries.
yeah.
I think it's going
It
to do
has a
better than
strong
people
message.
think.
Yes,
I agree with
and
you
if
on
they
that.
and if they make a better staging than they did in Germany, it needs a little polish. But hey, then I could see it rise.
Yes. How about you, Fernando?
Hmm. I'm not sure where he's standing. France, maybe.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's not a favorite. It's not doing. It's like 10th or
And
11th right now.
I'll tell you what. Yesterday we had a party and he was singing and he sang really amazing. And he can be the next Conchita. He can be the next Dana International.
Levanda,
Slowly,
thank you for
slowly.
the super chat, by the way, for the 100 SEK. I guess I don't know what that is, but I know it's Swedish.
Swedish krona.
Yeah, I don't know how much that is. I mean, I'm sorry, should clarify.
Oh,
But
right.
that's fine. But it doesn't matter. Anything is. Thank you very much. As far as my dark horse, and I said it earlier, I do think people rate. Not even like I think that Denmark will actually do much better. It's totally. It's not the song that necessarily is as popular within the Eurovision community, but I've played several songs to my friends and everyone loved Denmark. Like Denmark, it just has that sweetness to it that is just unpretentious and likable, and it's just not trying to be something that it's not. And that I think why it is going to do much better than people think. So that is my dark horse. So see, Chris, we exchanged favors here because you said Germany, I said Denmark, but it's true. It is true. So the next question is, guys, haven't you already listened to the Russia song? It's already released. I listened to it and I recorded my reaction video, so I'm not going to comment until that video has been released. Sorry, my opinion you will not get until later. Anyone else has listened to it? On the chat?
did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And we have a mixed reaction about it. It's good, but we're looking forward to see the staging. I think on stage the song will look much different. It will look complete. Definitely, there's like a 10 seconds, they're going to do something with it, and I don't think it's a song. It's I think it's a song. It's a song made for the stage and not for to listen it on a studio version.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Also, I think his live vocals sounded to me improved, and I think if he can deliver those vocals live, because I think it's a wise choice to do a ballad that actually shows his vocal ability instead of a banger. So I think actually it was super wise of them to give him a ballad.
Yeah, interesting. How about you, Robert?
Yeah, I don't really know what to make of it, actually. It's like, I mean, to be fair, I only caught it a couple of times whilst I was making my tea tonight, so I will not say I've really sat down and properly listened to it. I liked it. I think it was good. I enjoyed his 2016 entry. I didn't really know what to make of it at times. There are bits in there that just felt a little bit weird. Yeah, I need a bit of time to acclimatize with it, I think. But I'm hopeful so far.
Yeah. In case anyone is wondering, Sweden's odds are shortening significantly. They're still in third right now in the betting odds, but they are catching up. They caught up to Russia in certain websites, and Netherlands still ahead a little bit. But we have to wait and see because it takes a little while to catch up. We have to wait and see. Maybe tomorrow we'll see if there is a difference. And yes, they only say so much, these things, but it's just wanted to point out. And Sean, what's up? Are you ready for Tel Aviv? Thank you so much for your super chat. You're saying Bilal is dealing with accusation of anti-Semitism and having celebrated terrorism attacks in Paris in the past. Depending on how effective his dealing with those accusations will have a huge impact. I haven't heard of that. I would have think that this would have been a big in the news. I don't think that this is going to be. If this would have been a thing, we would have known by now. I would have thought. So I don't want to comment on that until we have more information. I would be shocked and surprised. So I don't see that happening. He's all about love. So so that would be more of a surprise to me. Let's see if there are any other songs. Let's talk. Oh, okay. Here's an uncomfortable question for you guys. Uzi Vian, which is your worst song? So is there a song that you just don't care for right at this point? Pick one.
Oops.
Can I only pick one? Because there's two, and I'm going to be hated by loads of people for both of them.
They already do hate you, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
go ahead.
Italy and Portugal.
Okay.
Thought,
Italy
Chris.
and
Yeah.
He's
Portugal.
waiting.
Okay. I didn't
no, no.
expect that. Italy and Portugal. Okay.
Yeah.
Unexpected. We're moving on to save his life. Fernando.
Thank you, Matt.
Robert, I'm going to
Yes.
join you. I'm going to
Oh!
join you. And I totally understand why. I totally...
Okay, Chris.
I'm going to be careful.
Say it.
Yeah, for me, from the first listen, it was actually Cyprus. But I must say, the more I've heard it, I've changed my mind. So right now, I have that I dislike or hate.
This is Team Rando, by the way, so I have no idea what's going on here. But, wow. Well, let's just say I disagree with some of the statements that were made here, right now. So see, you know me, I have to be I'm trying to be as polite. But there are certain songs that just don't jive with me. And Romania and Croatia, I've really fell down on my list. I think I would say. I just can't with them. So those were mine. But that is my taste. Okay, so if there are any other questions on Melodiefestivalen, let me know. Otherwise, we're moving on. Any final thoughts on tonight's show? Anything we should have talked about? Robert?
Linda Woodruff, guys.
Oh,
I mean,
I forgot.
come on. What a return for Linda, because she was absolutely on point tonight. I'm sorry. Some of the jokes we had, it was coming thick and fast. And I know some people, that kind of humor really is not your kind of, not your kind of thing. But boy, was she on point tonight. Absolutely brilliant song. And brilliant song. What am I saying? I'm
Yeah,
getting
like
confused
she
with everything
sang
else
too.
in Melody Festival. She sang to, in my head, she was always singing. But she absolutely slayed. I loved the puns. I loved the fact that Jesus has been to Eurovision. I love the fact that we saw so much from her tonight. And just a lovely touch as well when we see Sarah Dawn Finer calling Linda Woodruff, and it's like, yeah, okay, same person,
The
but still, I
lesbians from
loved it.
Lisbon? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, come on. Who hasn't made that joke in the last few years? But come on,
I
it was
haven't
Linda
actually.
Woodruff.
Because I was listening, oh my god, oh, that's funny. Who thought of that? That's so clever. I'm like, I see, I totally didn't even think of that.
You missed something, Old Bean, yes. But yeah, and then,
Clearly.
of course, someone has mentioned in the chat as well, the hat as well, the Make Eurovision Great Again. And then, of course, she says, Make Eurovision Straight Again. I mean, come on, some of us are feeling a bit threatened by that, Linda. Because
I know,
Eurovision... I mean, when has Eurovision been straight, to be dead honest, would be the only question I've got. Really? Oh, okay, fine. I'd have to ask you, Matt, because you're the only one of us who was alive then.
Whatever. It's not true. Chris, Fernando, anything else you would like to point out? You're there on site. If there's anything that you wanted to share.
I would say that the other TV stations, I hope that they watched the show tonight and watched and learn, because this is how you do it. I mean, it was just pitch perfect from start to the end. It was entertaining. It was fun. They had their jokes, and also I would say this is how a final should be. Really a perfect final. And it felt, as we were talking about in the arena, it felt like we were actually watching the Eurovision final in Tel Aviv. It felt like it, with the quality of the songs, the staging, the sound. It was just pitch perfect.
And that's how you stage a show.
Yes, exactly.
Fernando, any thoughts from you?
Yes, I think EBU should start rethinking about the size of the arenas. Stockholm does it, 60,000 seats every year, and they do a massive, nice show. And I think every now and then a big arena should pop out. Not just the small ones, but also the big ones. Every now and then, maybe not every year, but every 3-4 years. When they can do it, they can do it. If Sweden can every year, why not?
Why not? Well, we have to wait and see who is going to win. It's a little early, but we shall see. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight.
If Malta wins, forget a big arena. We don't have one big.
Okay. Oh, well.
Okay,
so thank you, everyone, for joining. And once again, congratulations to John Lundvik. Everyone, most people are happy you can please everyone, of course. But I am happy. No one in here is upset. So good luck to Sweden. Not that you need it, because you always do well anyway. So thanks everyone, and have a good day, and have a good night. Have a good whatever.
Thank